Wooz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod?
Mick?
Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go, but says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths.
None.
They've been here for you since you were a kidling, but when you left, you also chose to distance yourself from everyone that cared for you.
None.
Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. He feels you've deserved revenge because of how you were wronged. You've suffered enough to make him pay.
Oh, the light it hurts your eyes, am I right?
You can still see how ugly the dark can be.
We're not hiding in the dark. We revel in it.
Well, you should be hiding. From mirrors, mostly.
Now that's just mean. You're not wrong. Just mean.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Murk Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas.
What on the blue blazers? Come on.
Don't want to point a finger, but the mecha stadium is near here.
I know. I gotta deal with this thing first. Oh. That's not nice.
tribes need someone to unite them. Need a key. Locked solid. Locked. You're already dripping wet. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. He agrees that it's an option if you want to break stuff, but in this case you want to keep things intact, so it won't leak once you get undersurf. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Murk puff is crunching bark by the minute.
Malo ang Japan, bala.
It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head.
Basta to kunto pa. Kompata?
Choo Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him.
Bye.
Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way.
Karimata pa?
Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch?
Kambasa pete pata.
You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path.
Pa.
Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be.
Okatsu mo dousho ika ba?
Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on?
Malam.
Thinks everyone has. No one's perfect every time.
Malam.
Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again.
Pampatsu da.
Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around.
Poto?
But let's not get derailed.
Chujo.
Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station.
Mala.
As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo Choo.
Mala.
He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation.
Koi.
Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased.
Ko sita ba?
He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself.
Kato.
This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track.
Kompata?
Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him.
Koya ba?
Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. The Wing Nut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever. Easy for things to hide down here. Tap hard.
Where is he?
There's a
Ah,
serenity
that's
about
stupid.
this spot. It's a place for rest.
What the? That's a good thing. So their clothes are pretty easy. Oops, wrong one. Let's cause some problems. Let's see which way this is supposed to go.
Choo Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason, but he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. Choo Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place.
Koyaba.
Understands completely.
Kamaba. Koyaba.
You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo Choo has no use for it now.
Kambasabate pata.
Choo Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him.
Kadu.
He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place.
Kambasabate pata.
He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself.
Koi.
Says he can't see the end of your rails, but if you grease them up good, he hopes you'll enjoy an easier ride.
Pure pakat.
Choo Choo's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be. And no rails needed.
No kasabat.
Needs no rails, no roads, nothing but air.
Ta.
The world's on the mend, so no need to leave it. But just think of all the places the Ark could take you.
Malap.
Says he's happy to see the Ark in your hands. Knows you'll go great places with it and do some good.
Karimatasaba.
Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Malap.
After spending a life on the rails, he's eager to ride the skies with you. Just let him pack his rollerboard and he'll roll aboard.
So dokudo.
Choo Choo says he's ready to pack up and leave.
Koyaba.
Says you're welcome back. Wiz says that there's no plan to confront the Murk Puff until the octopod is properly armed.
Malo anja pambalaga.
He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off. Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world.
What? You know what?
That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off.
Ow, how do I catch it? Oh. What the?
The pyrosticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least now you have a chance to hurt the Murk puff where it counts. You should aim for the head. That's the Murk puff's weak spot. Thinking doesn't seem to be his strong point. Wiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyrosticks, it squirts guppos. Scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Murk puff in particular. Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gil. He has a natural sonar and knows where the guppos sub the surf. This means you'll have to go visit Gil at Burblebottom. Find Gil and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos. He used to run a pet shop stocked with guppos, but since they've become more difficult to find, he's diverted his attention to make them grow in numbers instead of giving them away. Let's see. This is Burblebottom, residence of Gil. Happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you. Claims to have been born swimming, but he must flap-flop clear of it during these dark days. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow or against? It's crazy hard to flipper against the surf, but you can't save the world if you let it sweep you away. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Thinks life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Seems to him that there's always another wave coming along. Can't imagine how wonderful it's going to be to surf on gooless goo. The world is going to live. Can't thank you enough for fighting against the goo. Happy you ride alongside the Myriad. They bring a real shine to everything they work with. Says they shine so bright. They glitter on the waves. But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there. Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills. He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison. Claims the surf is poison now. Anything that drinks it becomes poison too, including the Tree of Life.
a study of man.
His friend Wiz needs guppos for one reason or another, and Gil is ready to point you in the right direction.
Toodly way our furrow.
But here, you're only going to find dead ones. He's pretty sure Wiz wants them alive. Well, at least the ones that aren't already rotting.
Toodly way our furrow.
If you head in the right direction, you'll find a clean enough bit of surf to snag yourself some guppos. Then you can get them to Wiz for whatever he has in mind.
I didn't know who for sober.
Helping both you and Wiz makes him double happy. So different from the surface down here.
Oh, this is a hot mess.
Scrapalicious. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Ah, it was the wrong way. It was stupid.
Just ignore trouble till it clocks you in the head. That seems to be enough guppos to provide the octopod with infinite ammunition. He's surprised the Murk puff's been able to hold its breath all this time. It's just another proof of the evolutionary change caused by Toxanol's contamination. Being undersurf has meant the Murk puff has been left alone to munch on the root down there undisturbed. This means the northwest route has suffered more damage than the others. The marks the corporation left behind on the land are everywhere, but they also abandoned technology of which he's sure you only found a fraction.
That was one of the easiest ones to defeat. Quickest to get to as well.
That was the last of them. You've sealed the fate of the tribe and the tree. It's time for the end game. You have your destiny. Follow it all the way back to Out of Date. He never told anyone about what's next, but he's sure it involves you. Just continue to stay true to yourself and respect others whatever happens. You've become their pride, the guiding light of the tribe. It's time to return to the tree one last time.